Good day, ladies and gentlemen. And today, we're here to take a look at Rise of the Triad, the Ludicrous edition. So, you know, I didn't really appreciate how kind of important these remasters really are, because, you know, I'm such a PC gamer, I just kind of mod everything or use DOSBox, but like being able to just open up this Rise of the Triad program and just immediately get to all these games is really good. I mean, like, DOSBox is great and all, but, you know, being able to click on this thing and just go, boom. You can use a controller, you've got the modern day soundtrack. Oh yeah, we've got a story here. As El Oscuro rides in agony from his extreme defeat, time lurches backwards yet again. The dark rite that gave him his second chance has saved him once more. But what's this? He wakes up in a monastery he does not recognize amid the panic shouts of his minions. Intruders at the perimeter, they shout. The hunt is already here. Okay, so Rise of the Triad. You know, back in the day, I of course played it, but I only ever played, when I was a kid, the shareware version, because I believe that was free. Or if it wasn't free, it was really cheap. And I actually did beat that entire bloody thing. We'll play that a little bit. The thing about Rise of the Triad is, it's a very hard game. The levels are very hard to navigate, especially when you compare it to something like Doom or Duke Nukem or something like that. It's like, these are very complicated. Now, what we're playing here is a modern day episode, and it's pretty good. It's a little more complicated than I would like, but it works. And I'm doing alright, Emperor Snake. And no, I'm not on TikTok. I don't belong to the Chinese Communist Party. I'm just straight communist classic. Wait, no, we're not doing it, even though I have an AK. And a Mosin. Oh my god, is General Lotz secretly a communist? No, I don't. I'm not enough of a Redditor to be a communist. I mean, never mind. But communism aside, yeah, like, this game was one that I really loved as a kid, but not as much as the other 90s FPSs, just because as we play through here, you'll see just how kind of overly complicated these levels are. Now, them making the levels overly complicated, not a bad thing, because they wanted to try to get away from the fact that Wolfenstein 3D games were always pretty simple. But they kind of went too far in the other direction. So, the Ludicrous edition here, of course, has the controller support. You know, you can play it in 1080p or 720p or 2K or 4K or whatever. Not that it really matters, because, well, this is a game that was originally like 640 by 480. But it's much easier than playing it on DOSBox, where you're stuck with, you know, turret controls. And it runs pretty smooth. We're playing it with the modern day remake soundtrack, simply because it sounds a whole lot better than that MIDI. MIDI isn't terrible, but you know, trying to listen to the soundtrack with the MIDI sounds, it's like, oh god, please just let me die. Still haven't beaten Turok 2. How could you? It's not like that game is really complicated. Turok 2 is not an easy game to complete, I can tell you that. It was way ahead of its time. It still kind of stands on its own even today, when you compare it to other first-person shooters. That is something that is in a dreadful need of that is a graphical overhaul, not a remake to where they make it into like some really shallow game. So, here's the thing. This uses the Wolfenstein 3D engine, which can only do 90-degree angles. That's why everything is at a 90-degree angle. And you know, it's not terrible. A lot of the Wolfenstein 3D games are very samey. This is not very samey, but they went too far in the other direction. Just because it would be nice if you could get a key and then immediately open a door. Instead, it's very convoluted. I'm very impressed with what they were able to do, though. And of course we have, oh yeah, the power-ups. I mentioned this in the review when I did it back in 2010. It is definitely unique. And I cannot look at the screen, otherwise I'm going to get sick. It's amazing what they were able to do at this point in time. Especially when you compare this to a game. I'm actually going to review another Wolfenstein 3D clone when I review this game. When you compare this to something like Corridor 7, this is just head and shoulders above that. But I actually would say Corridor 7's a little more playable just because it's a little more straightforward. Oh crap. I am now stuck in a wall. See, this is the kind of shit that happens in this. But this came from a time when developers actually put in a lot of time and effort to give games a much more, And hello, Riley the Flaming Wookie Cookie. Still keeping that name all these years later. I love it. But yeah, this is where everything about this game is well produced. Like even when you quit the game, it has like this little sound that'll play. Also, we had an eyeball flying on the screen. Actually, I would say I much prefer the original Rise of the Triad to the modern one. The modern one's not bad. It's for the first of those, what they call boomer shooters. I'm not really sure boomer shooter is an appropriate term, just because, like, boomers are a lot older than the people who would actually be making these games. It's more like the children of boomers that were making games in the 90s. I think people don't quite realize what boomer means. I made the joke myself, but a boomer is somebody who was, like, born in the 1960s. See, like, if I didn't know where I was going, I'd be kind of screwed. You go like, where's the door? You gotta find the little touchpad. Or the touch plate, rather. It's like, can I just please go from one area to the next without having to do all this bullshit? And if you think this is bad, oh, just wait. I was really impressed by the digitized sprites. They're not bad, but they do kind of, overstay their welcome as time goes on. That's really what Rise of the Triad's biggest problem is it does overstay its welcome a little bit. Because these levels just go on a bit too long. I mean, like, I know it's only been 3 minutes, and it shows you how long it's been going, but it's like, I'm flying around here, and I've got so much stop and start. You know, it's like, okay, where's the door? Where's the touchpad? Touch plate, whatever. It gets a little old. Now, what we can do is I can get shot in the back by you bastard. Yeah, shoot him indeed. Go fuck yourself. Oh, really? Fucking door. Now, sometimes these guys will try to surrender. You could be a good fellow and not shoot them, but guess what? They'll just get up and immediately shoot you in the back. This isn't necessarily a hard game in terms of the combat, but where it gets really hard is just navigation. Now, what this version does is it brings back cut content. In the original release, all you did was shoot the male guards. This allows you to be an equal opportunity ass kicker by bringing back in the female guards that you can shoot. They're slightly smaller, but I think they have the same amount of health because we're equal opportunity around here these days. So, yeah, recently I've been playing a lot of the Epic Bethesda release, Starfield. It runs like shit. I mean, it just legitimately runs like crap. The way they programmed like the hard drive access was apparently really, really bad. I actually have it on an SSD and it still freezes. Not necessarily all the time, but it freezes. Turok 3 is indeed being remastered, and I will do a stream of that and we'll review that when it comes out. See, like, remasters like this really are necessary because it makes the barrier to entry to play, like, non-existent. You don't have to get DOSBox working, you don't have to use god-awful controls. That's not to say that Turok 3 has god-awful controls, because that N64 controller was just underappreciated in its day. Actually, I don't know if it was underappreciated in its day, but I definitely think it was underappreciated later. Because you saw a lot of YouTubers around 2008 through like 2010 constantly saying how bad the N64 controller was, and I'm like, it was? Because I grew up with the N64. It's actually my favorite console of all time, and like, so long as you spend 2 seconds learning how to use the controller, it's really not bad. In fact, it's quite good indeed. Okay, let's go through here. Does that look like gold to you? Yeah, they can be, depending on what old school you're talking about. If you're talking about the 90s, I don't think they're worth anything, but if you're like from the 50s, they might be. The biggest problem with selling anything is you got to find somebody who's willing to pay for it, and that's never an easy prospect. I've actually been thinking about selling off some of my non-completed Legos that I got as a Christmas gift years and years ago. I don't normally do that, but I don't really care for Ahsoka, and I have her T6 Jedi shuttle. Actually, Ahsoka's not even in it. I looked at that today. It has a few other Jedi. I guess that's a Clone Wars thing. That reminds me, watching Ahsoka season, not season 5, but episode 5, it's like, I'm watching somebody's childhood. Somebody's childhood dream of seeing these characters in their uniforms in live action. You know, I can appreciate that, but I'm sorry, but if TCW was your childhood, you need a better childhood, because TCW looks pretty bad. But, you know, seeing, you know, Anakin in his original TCW uniform, it's like, somebody is just dying of happiness seeing that. And I'm like, it'd be nice if I could have seen, you know, Dash Rendar or Corran Horn or old Luke, who wasn't, you know, Jake Skywalker. It'd be nice if my childhood could have come to life, but no. I guess it's just not fair. Shadow of Oblivion, favorite Turok N64 offerings. So you don't have to be a kid again to enjoy it. See, like, for me as an adult, I enjoy a lot of the same stuff I enjoyed as a kid, just more so now because I can appreciate it on an adult level. That's why I've been going back and rereading a lot of my old favorite books. There it is. Oh yeah, this bastard. Not only is he sound annoying, he takes 1,000,000 shots to kill. I don't care how good your bloody flak jacket is, you're gonna die if you get shot that many times with a fucking 9mm. Okay, that was level 1. Look how complicated that was. This is even more complicated. I'm finding myself enjoying a lot of the older books that I've read a lot more than when I was a kid. Recently reread Eye of Terror, which is a very early Warhammer 40k book. It is weird. I'm just gonna straight up say it's weird. It is a fucking weird book. It has like this, it has a little bit of hard science fiction to it. Like, legitimate logic is used, but then it's kind of contrasted with the insanity of the warp. And also, unlike with Ian Watson's Inquisition War series, whenever they see, like, well, demons engaging in certain activities, let's say, the characters, instead of being turned on by it, are instead repulsed by it. It's one of those things where there's a lot of stuff that happens in Eye of Terror that would never happen today. It's one of the things I love about early parts of franchises. They're a lot more free to do what they want to do because they're not trying to appeal to the chillins. That's one of the things about TCW that I don't like, is that it does have much more childish storytelling to a certain extent. I know the argument that can be made is like, well, it's a lot more violent. Violence does not necessarily equate to maturity. Like, the overall stories are just kind of limited, and then, like, Ahsoka is really childish. And really, just kind of a simple... Like, they've really dumbed that stuff down, but they made the universe really small, because I guess they don't have much of a budget, but, like, should there be more than that one X-Wing pilot? Okay, there's that bastard. Guess what? He's gonna be able to tank... Look at all the missiles he's tanking! Yes, I got shot in the back. Okay, save. F6 all day long. Sega Saturn. Alien Trilogy. No, I actually did not like that game when I first played it, but it's kind of grown on me over the years. I actually got a review of that from like 2009, and I just could not really... I was very mean to it. It's not that awful, but it's also not that great either. It's one of those things where if you compare that to, say, AVP Classic 2000, it really kind of doesn't hold up, but then again... Alien Trilogy is quite a bit older than that game, so it makes sense. I actually have it for the PlayStation 1. I still have it for the PlayStation 1. Okay, try not to get burned. Try not to get burned. Try to get burned! When memes outlast the actual story. Ooh, favorite Aliens game. Now that's a hard one to choose, because there were never that many. I always like to remind everybody of that. There were never that many Aliens or Aliens vs. Predator games. So it's a high bar. Let's see. I'm gonna say AVP Classic 2000, just because it is the one that I go back to the most. It has the absolutely perfect xenomorphs in it, because they're fast and they can shred you in just a couple hits. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to actually try to get over there and not grab that power up by accident. The game doesn't make it that easy either. Duke Nukem Serious Sam crossover. I think such a thing already exists in a mod form. And I don't know, like Serious Sam, I used to be a bigger fan of him than I am today, just because trying to go back to those games and play them single player, they get kind of boring. There needs to be something Duke Nukem related, so if they have to pair him with a similar character, I wouldn't mind seeing that. But I'd like there to be a little bit more story, you know? Where we can see some cutscenes with him, like, bantering about. Because just gameplay alone is not going to sell it to me. Like, one of the reasons why I like AVP Classic 2000 so much, I hate calling it that, but if I just say AVP, that could be like 5 different games. Because there's a lot of games named AVP. There's like the arcade game, the Super Nintendo game, a couple of mobile games. And yeah, they Serious Sam outstays his welcome quite a bit. I was quite fond of Serious Sam 3 though. I didn't grow up with Serious Sam, so I got those like for cheap on a Steam sale. And the third one seemed to be by far the best. I played that. Oh crap, that guy. That guy is unfucking believable. He just tanked 2 bazooka shots. 2! Hope that battery works. So, this is where the level designer was getting very clever. So in order to actually finish this part of the level, we have to basically jump on this, go over here. I don't think we have to go over there. Let's save. Yeah, here we go. We have to jump on that, jump over here. There's a switch. It's just... It's impressive what they did. I'm not sure how fun it is, though. All that to open a door! Like, the levels, when I do the review of this, the levels, like, in the 90s, I don't think it really mattered that much, because games weren't really that serious. I mean, some were, but not many, and it's like, this is just a chaotic mess. And that's really what the levels in this are. It's like, none of it makes sense. It can be argued that, you know, game levels don't make that much sense anyway, but like, here it really doesn't make any sense. It's like, why would you ever design a facility like this? How would you do it? Imagine trying to check the fucking mail. And this, of course, is one of those games that does not have a story at all. But, and I guess it really couldn't. Not everybody tried to create a, oh, they can throw grenades, by the way. Killing those guys at the very end of the shareware episode really just, I barely was able to do it as a kid. I still remember that to this day, just hitting the quick save key over and over again. I'd go like 3 feet, kill one, 3 feet, kill one, then I'd finally, through attrition, I was able to defeat that bastard. Okay, and I'm trying to remember. We have to hit a switch, then I'll open a door, and then there he is. There's the key. Come on, blast him. Alright, and we're gonna shoot this guy. Or try to. Look at how many shots he takes. Look at that. Now imagine you're like 8 or 9 years old, and there's a whole room of them. That's the last level of the shareware episode. We'll actually take a look at the shareware episode today. This is not a bad modern day episode. It's just they were being really clever, I guess, and the cleverer these people are, the more difficult it is to actually play. The music's all, you know, like, get you pumped up, but it's like, okay, we gotta stop. Where am I? What touch plate do I have to hit? And the weapons in this were really good, by the way. I mean, just look at that. And he survived it! He survived getting hit by a bloody firebomb! Now, back in the early 2000s when like the whole YouTube internet thing started to become a thing. Built to Normandy and Starfield is an absolute powerhouse in battle. Oh man, I want to do that. I haven't had time to play the game. And I've been working on reviews and things of that nature. But what little I say that I haven't played much of the game. I've played 10 hours of the game. And for those who are wondering if Starfield's any good, it is. Ignore all the detractors. Imagine sort of Skyrim meets Mass Effect, and you wouldn't be far off. It's actually a little bit better than, it's a lot better than Skyrim. I don't know if I'd say it's better than Mass Effect, but blast it. I wouldn't say it's better than Mass Effect, but I will say it's definitely better than Skyrim, and far, far better than Fallout 4, or Fallout Boar, as I like to call it. Now, how do you think we get over here? How do you think we get to the exit? Would it be so hard just to let us walk through the exit? No, we can't do that. No, we gotta go over here.
Outsider.
Now, you might think, could we just jump on the platforms? No, you had to jump at an angle. Oh, you bastard. Fuck you. Okay, let's save. I'll have to go back. Now, unlike in the Elder Scrolls games, when you first start Starfield, you're not a prisoner. Instead, you're a rock miner. And like in Mass Effect, yeah, as Anthony Jordan would say, as Anthony Jordan mentioned, it is a bit like Mass Effect in that you select your background and backstory. Of course, Space Scoundrel. Although I'm not really playing it too much like Han Solo, I mainly just like to knock over pirate bases. Oh, god damn it. I mean, this is a cool idea, but not one I really enjoy playing. Build for the Defiant. Oh, that's gonna be great. I can't wait for the mods to actually start coming out. And I guess I should touch on, is the game woke or not? Because by this point, I'm sure everybody knows about the pronoun nonsense. That's really not as big of a deal as it's been made out on the media. Really, the game is not woke. In fact, I could actually go as far to say it's anti-woke, because there's a perk, well, it's a trait you can get called kids stuff. It's where you can actually have a living family, which is a first for these games, and you can go talk to them. It's an actual nuclear family, believe it or not. And the mother is voiced by Kira from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, which I about fell out of my chair when I saw that. The father character is perfectly masculine, and he actually, if you're, a good guy, will give you, the player, a gun. He will give you a pistol to go adventuring with. I thought that was one of the coolest things of all time. Who's shooting at me? I'm about to get a missile to the face. There they are. He actually gives the player a gun. And it's not just any gun either. It is a more or less 1911A1. It's not really a 1911 because a lot of the cuts are wrong. There's pinholes where there shouldn't be any. But it's mostly a 1911A1. Mostly. It's the guns in Starfield are a lot better than those monstrosities in Fallout 4. But the 1911 still isn't quite right. It's close. It's close. The music in this level is fucking rocking, although this level is really annoying. Every level in this game is annoying. Last of Us 2 is so woke. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Yeah, maybe. Once or twice someone referred to you. I'm talking about Starfield. Freestar Rangers. Yeah, I'm actually at the Freestar Rangers planet right now. God, that fucking thing where you had to, like, talk down the bank robbers. That took forever! It's like, for bank robbers, they're not easily persuaded. I do like the Persuade minigame, in that it actually makes Persuade have stakes. Much better than what you saw in Skyrim, much better than what you saw in Fallout Boar. I really do like the dialogue in Starfield, because there's actual dialogue between the player character, and it's different. It's not just different variations of yes. I mean, like, Fallout 4 was just so bad to me. I'm sure people liked it, but I hated it. Because there was no talking in that. Like, you were voiced, and your character barely had anything to say, whereas in Starfield, you can talk all the time. And you can be a good guy or a bad guy. And of course, I'm playing the goodiest good guy, whoever gooded it up. And the graphics for Starfield look pretty good. Like I said, it runs like ass, though, because it's optimized for AMD as far as I know, and I'm running NVIDIA. And so it barely runs, but hey, it runs. I don't care. It fucking runs. Oh yeah, empathy. I did not do that, I don't think. I probably should have. I still would like to see a space game where you can choose to be an alien of some description. The only time you didn't get to... The only time you could play something other than a human was... Actually, you could do that in Elder Scrolls, and you could do that in Dragon Age Origins, but only the first one. Now, I'm not really sure as to the plot of Starfield yet. You join this thing called the Constellation, and, like, it's run by a guy who is voiced by fucking Quark? It's like, Quark is... It's like 2 DS9 actors that I found so far. I think also the guy from South Park voices somebody in the game, because there's a character you can run across on a random space station that sounds exactly like the fucking generic voice for South Park. I'm not sure, though. I'd have to look that up. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that Turok 3 remake. To be able to play it in a modern-day screen resolution with modern controls. I mean, it works well enough emulated, but maybe they can put back in some stuff that got dummied out. Like this, where they brought back in the female models. Not that you can really tell if they're female. Oh my! Is the Force female? I don't know which South Park guy is which, though. Sounds like a Nord. I'm not surprised. I've only put 10 hours into it. It's just such a fun game, and that one of the great things about Elder Scrolls games, at least, is that you can go into a random direction, and you'll find some kind of adventure. And you can do that in Starfield all the bloody time. Which is something you can't really do in Mass Effect. Mass Effect is it's very strict in where you can go. I'm not gonna let you shoot me in the back. But they really nailed it. Now, if only they could have actually nailed the optimization. Thank you, Toddler Howard. Upgrade my ass. Just fucking program it right. Because I guarantee you some modder is gonna fix that. And it's gonna make Bethesda look even worse. But yeah, the game isn't woke. That's something I'm going to touch on in my review, which I'm going to try to get out sometime either in October or November. Because everything's like painted with the woke brush these days, and not everything is. It's like, I know there's like some YouTuber, I even heard this on the news. There's some YouTuber that went nuts over the pronouns. It's like, you know what, just select it and move on, you know? I'm not normally one of those move on kind of people, but it's like, the rest of the game is just so good. It's like, who cares? And besides, your father character can give you a 1911. That trumps any pronoun any day from me. And yeah, I wonder why there hasn't been a Hexen or Heretic re-release. Those games were fairly popular in their day. Vanguard, when you get a chance, you might or might not run into some copycat. Oh, some 20% different xenomorphs. Okay, I've not heard about that. I was actually thinking about doing the Freestar, just because they like my freedom's unlimited storage capacity. Well, I mean, you can store stuff on your ship. You can load up that chick that follows you around, you know. And there's also been some complaints that the characters were all ugly in the game. I can see where some of that comes from, but the characters in Starfield aren't that ugly. I mean, your first party member is a robot. That's actually a pretty good robot that has some decent lines. But your second party member, once you join Constellation, she's pretty attractive, has a decent personality, she has a lot of good snark, and I like how she actually knows where she is. And then I found a number of other attractive female characters in the game as well. I actually went ahead and recorded some of that just so I could point it out in the review. I can join both. Okay, I may have to do that. I will have to see about that. I've not joined any factions yet. I haven't even done the first. I've not done the first main quest objective yet. I've not gone to Mars. I've not gotten my ass to Mars. And like I said, I'm still not quite sure what the story's about yet. Starfield, this feels really crap here. Oh crap! Here I thought things were bad. Yeah, that is not good. That's the thing about Starfield, is that it's a game you can lose yourself in. That's one of the things I always loved about Bethesda games, and also BioWare games, to a certain extent. There just never were that many BioWare games. Because there's KOTOR 1. Actually, there's a decent number of BioWare games, now that I think of it, but that's what I love about RPGs. You can just kind of forget about the world for a little while. I actually already have streamed the Quake 2 remaster, and I'm going to review that in October, and I'll do the Dark Horses one as well. And hello, Fallout Intellect. But that's the thing about RPGs that really separates them from everything else, is that you can lose yourself in that. You can just kind of forget about the world for a moment. And that's why I like role-playing as the goodiest good guy who ever gooded it up, because in the real world it's hard to actually help anybody, because the real world is tough and difficult, whereas in the game at least you can actually do something. A Total Recall game, you know, I don't know why you'd make it though. If Total Recall doesn't really lend itself well to anything that would be particularly unique, I guess you could make it a first-person shooter where you have to, you know, get your ass to Mars and all the rest. But there's nothing that would really differentiate it from anything else, though. Now, like if it came out in, say, you know, 2002, it'd be kind of a cult classic, I guess, if it was made well enough. But today, it's like, you know, you go through a bunch of levels, shooting a bunch of bad guys, and then rock off with, I forget what the name of the villain was. Rock off with Ronnie Cox, and then, you know, that's it. He'd basically just do the movie, except it'd be in game form. Which I guess isn't a bad thing, but it's like, it doesn't really add anything to it. God damn it. As I've said, these levels are just not that great. And that goes for both this new episode and the base game. They tried so hard to make these levels more than just 90-degree corridors, and they succeeded, but I'm not sure it was a good idea to try. I just don't know what I would do if I re-uploaded the old reviews. If I'm playing as the bad guy all that fun. Exactly. I mean, it's not a bad idea, but I just don't know what I would add to them. That's why I've just been trying to make more videos than I've made before. Okay, let's grab the, that split missile is utterly worthless. That's why I've been trying to make, like, 4... Oh, crap, that's, like, literally the entire army there. Give me this Priest Forge. They definitely, got good enemy count in this, that's for sure, but enemies just aren't really that compelling. Yeah, Horus Heresy. Horrendously damaged. Damn. Amazon usually is, good about not doing that. A lot of modern-day AAA was. Well, you know, the problem with having a lot of major tier consequences in something like a, Bethesda game is those games really are so big, you could really screw yourself. I know Morrowind did it, but I don't know. I never really was a fan of Morrowind. But yeah, we haven't really had anything like Mass Effect in a very long time. But Starfield, it really is as good as one would hope. Now, I'm not sure like what actual consequences there will be, because when you join Constellation, like, yeah, well, you know, your morality doesn't really matter so long as you don't bring us any trouble, and like if you got a bounty, we won't let you into the building. But if you want to like go kill everybody, it's like good for you, I guess. It's like, yeah, it'd be nice like if Constellation would kick you out, like, if you became, like, this marauder. Because, like, would you really want, you know, this psychopath joining your little exploration group? Now, it's kind of implied that that your first human party member is kind of amoral because she's like, hurry up and search the bodies, leave the junk behind. It's like, whoa! I mean, I was gonna do that, but, I mean, not to be so, in your face about it. Every name it. Doesn't matter, but if you do this stuff, she will lose her cool. Yeah, it's like... But that's kind of what you have to do, because like, it'd be very hard to program it any other way. For me, it's like, killing named NPCs, that just ensures that if they did die randomly, like through some kind of a glitch or something, the game isn't completely hosed. Ah, goddammit. Fucking game. This was a much easier level than the previous one. Okay, we just run across there. I know Morrowind had like the named NPCs die. Okay, you fucking game. Aha! There we go. Let's see. I didn't know you could marry her. Awesome. I think I'll have to do that too, because I'm quite fond of her character. I didn't even know you could do that in that game. I didn't even know there was even romance in that game. That's one thing I didn't really like about the Outer Worlds. I'm just gonna straight up say, Starfield is better than Outer Worlds. Mainly because it doesn't have that Rick and Morty style of humor that Outer Worlds had. That's one of the things I did not like about Outer Worlds was it tried too hard to be funny. It wasn't a bad game, but like Starfield is better in terms of story than that. But that's just been able to maintain the quality. I mean, except for Fallout 4, which is precisely why everybody loved Fallout 4 but me, and it sold better than I think like any of Bethesda's games except for Skyrim, so what do I know? It's kind of like how Resident Evil 5, despite being the least Resident Evil, sold better than all the other Resident Evil games. Just go figure. I didn't even know there was a loyalty mission. Like I said, I've only played it for 10 hours. And a lot of that time was trying to get the game to run. Because it would literally slow down every time I tried to turn a corner or just... I could literally just sit there and it would freeze for like 30 seconds. I finally got that to stop happening, but it was not an easy prospect. I had to basically edit the ini file, and I'm running it in a much reduced screen resolution. I think I'm running in like 1080p, and now it actually runs. It legitimately runs now. I really hope Bethesda will release a patch for that that'll fix it. The first patch they released, I think it was last week, and it's not too bad. Well, I say it's not too bad. Like, it helps a little. The sad part is there's just not that many Western RPGs. I mean, so far there has been Starfield and Baldur's Gate 3, and I never liked Baldur's Gate. I do not like top-down games. There's just something about them I don't like. I just can't get invested in a top-down game. Because I've tried Baldur's Gate 1 and 2, and I did not like either one of them. And I've tried Neverwinter Nights 1 and 2, and just couldn't really get into that either. I don't know if that's because the first ever RPG I played was KOTOR, or not. I actually need to replay KOTOR at some point, because it's been years since I played it. Do the good guy things. Oh, well, I always play the good guy anyway. I'm always good, Shep. Always good, Revan. I mean, wait, is that a spoiler now? Poor Revan. Poor Revan. Now, see, that is a great missed opportunity. Although, I say that, and it's like, I'm kind of glad Disney hasn't destroyed Revan yet. Okay, maybe we gotta go through here? No. See, now this level is... You could just wander around for hours trying to figure out where to go. This is not as bad as, say, Hexen, but at the same time, they really wanted to challenge you with complexity here. And once again, it's still just... This game just kind of looks ugly to me. I hate to say it, but it's just such a chaotic mess of things that's being shoved in your face. I don't think I could actually stream Starfield because I can barely record the goddamn thing. Like, it runs so bad, I can barely record it. Which is really annoying me because I want to get some footage for that game. I've tried recording it with OBS, and OBS crashes almost immediately when I try to record it, so I'm kind of screwed in that one. Book 8 of Siege of Terra. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. I think that's coming out next year. Oh, crap. Yeah, 40K has been able to maintain popularity pretty well, and it's not too woke. Oh yeah, you have to have a fucking rocket to take these goddamn robots out. Oh, pre-order KOTOR. Stream KOTOR. I don't know if I could do that just because that is an RPG, and I don't know if I could keep up the energy. Speaking of KOTOR, there is a mod that's being worked on that gives Revan a AI voice. It actually sounds pretty good. AI is one of those things that I don't think I'd ever drink an AI-designed Coke, because yes, those exist, but stuff like audio, I mean, that is a cool concept. Like listening to Hank Hill sing Honky Tonk Badonkadonk. That is very catchy when he sings it. Or like AI-generated backgrounds. Expect to see those coming soon. Right. Okay, I blasted that bastard. Now imagine trying to play this game without modern day controls and like you're stuck with turrets. We did it! Also infinitely more patient. Yeah, but I think you're giving Bethesda too much credit in terms of programming, because, yeah, there's a number of issues with Starfield. The funny part is, there was a time when all I did was use AMD graphics cards, and then about 5 or so years ago, in fact, for over a decade, I just used exclusively AMD graphics cards, and then about 5 years ago, I went to NVIDIA and never looked back. A lot of games streaming on this stuff. Throw some Google Stadia. Huh. I've never actually tried to do any cloud gaming. You can get the Mantis' ship as soon as you can. Yeah, I'm still flying around in that junker you get due to laziness. I mean, let's face it, most modern games are pretty lazy compared to stuff in the past. But I don't know, I take what I can get these days. Okay, we need to find a silver key, which is probably going to be in here. But where it would be, I do not... There it is. Like, if you're not paying attention to this game, it's like you can wander around for hours. Like that, because I must have missed where we were supposed to go. Where is that little jumpy pad? Yep, we got rot. Yeah, the music is great. It's just these levels are a little annoying, though. There's no straightforward just walk to the exit. Like right here, it's like, I know I need to be somewhere over here, but I can't really tell where. And I need to find the silver key. And of course, it could be over there, but how do I even get over there? Okay, this leads right back to here. Okay. I don't think anything we need to get is in here, but I'm gonna look in here anyway. Let's see. Material, more ham compartments. Black and silver paint job. Nice. Maybe for a key. And yeah, we were talking about Starfield before you showed up, Castle Bravo. Because I've been playing it I've been playing it a lot today. Played it for several hours today. Until the goddamn power went out. Oh, here we go. I know how to play video game. It is a damn fine game. Drop that, you bastard. eat a missile that doesn't do anything. I always love the sound effect when you pick up that key. It's like you picked up some kind of magical fucking item and it's just a steel key. There are more options for customizing weapons. You know, but the problem is with Fallout 4, it's just there's so little you can actually do in that game, though. I mean, yeah, you can build different things, but to me, I like the story more than anything else. Okay, now I'm lost again. Here we go. Oh god, that's like a whole army of those bloody robots. Blue and red, Crimson Fist. Nice. But the only thing I've done with the ship so far is I just gave it some better engines. I'm still definitely a Starfield dude. That's one of those things. I don't know how certain people, when they get older, they kind of like move on from gaming or only want to play old games. Like for me, I love old games. I'm playing one right now. But like, if you enjoy RPGs at one point, why would you stop playing them? All the base building customization. And yeah, Starfield has the base building in it, but it actually has a story and characters and plot. And it's pretty good. And you can marry the hot blonde who actually enjoys looting, just like me. Okay, let's save. Took over an hour to different shipyards to make. Yeah, games do. Games can and do change, but the same. If you like RPGs, and they just get more complex all the time, or sometimes they get less complex. Then playing a game in 2023 should be doable if you enjoyed RPGs back in the day. No, there's nothing wrong with you. I'm actually going to talk about that. Dark Souls and the Souls-like games are not for everybody. I know they're not for me, because I just don't have the patience for them. And yeah, they don't necessarily make games the way they used to, but sometimes they can get close. Because I'm telling you, if you like classic RPGs, you'll still like Starfield, even if it is a bit more streamlined than one would necessarily like. Because it still has that great story, you can still lose yourself in it, it still works. Hate Sarah. I don't know how anybody could hate Sarah, she's great. And she most definitely isn't woke. And she likes to loot. To a certain extent, you can grind in like the Souls-like games, but I found that that doesn't really help as much. Because like you really do have to master that gameplay in a way where like you don't necessarily have to be perfect at it, but you have to know how to parry, you have to know, you know, the proper timing and things of that nature. And if you don't get that, then you're kind of screwed. You know, like, I've tried to play Elden Ring, and all I can say is I did not really enjoy it. In fact, the last Souls-like game I really enjoyed was Dark Souls 3, and even then, it's on the bad part of the line of annoying versus fun. Sarah is rude and annoying. Beating Dark Souls without ever learning how to parry. I should know. I'm one of them. I never did learn how to parry, but like, that makes the game so much easier. If you know how to parry, that's basically God mode at that point. Because like the final boss of the game is really fucking hard, but if you know how to parry, you can kill him in like 3 hits. And there's a lot of, in a number of those Souls-like games, you have to parry in order to defeat anything. I tried a game called Mortal Coil. It was a kind of a weird version of Dark Souls where you play as like this like faceless abomination that like you take on like the aspect of different things to get like different armor and weapons. But that entire game is based on parrying. If you don't know how to parry, you are screwed. Needless to say, I did not finish that game or even get anywhere in it because I just could not get that parry window down. And at that point, I'm like, am I having fun? If the answer is no, I'm done. And that's kind of like, Elden Ring just didn't really draw me in, mainly because it just wasn't fun to me. And that's one of those things about Dark Souls. Is Dark Souls really fun? or is it a challenge? And can challenges be fun? I'm gonna do a video on that in January. I've got that scheduled for that month, and I'm thinking to myself, is Dark Souls really fun? Or does the fun come from a challenge? It's definitely not a game that you just sit down to play just to kind of unwind and relax. I can tell you that. Unless you're really good at it. And like with Starfield, you know, you can just jump in the game and have fun without really trying too hard. It's not too easy, but it's not hard to the point where like you've got to pay full attention to what's going on. And as I've said, not every game is meant for every person, so if you can unwind with a challenge, then go for it. If you can't, you're not gonna have that much fun, I can tell you that. Oh, you little bastard. Save. Armored Core. Mission-based game about building and customizing mechs. Why have I never heard of Armored Core until now? Why is this the first time I've heard of this game? Let me guess, it's like some sort of super popular franchise that I just somehow have missed. Snort some coke. Oh my. Oh good, it's niche. So I didn't just miss out on some sort of super amazing franchise. I'll have to look that up after the stream, because you can customize mechs. I like the idea of that. I really enjoyed Mech Warrior 5. So I'll have to see about that. Yeah, for me, I'm not a, oh, it's got the difficulty. Okay, never mind. I might try it anyway. Because now I'm kind of curious. Or at least look up some gameplay videos of it, but yeah, I'm definitely not the kind of gamer that wants to have to really try, if that makes any sense. I don't want it to be too easy, but I don't want to have to be dying every 5 feet. Especially these days, I'm like, just went to work all goddamn day, and now I gotta fucking ram my head into a brick wall when I get home? I think not. The explosive barrels don't so much as explode as they just kind of are a little flamey. It's yours by From Software. I know From Software has done a number of different games other than the Souls games. Bazooka time. Bazooka Joe! It's always hilarious when you read stuff from the 90s and they have bazookas in them. It's like, wait a minute, from World War II? That was just sort of a colloquialism for rockets. And it's like, well, though the bazooka was a specific thing, and you wouldn't really want one if you had to use it against an armored vehicle, because, yeah, those batteries apparently didn't work right. I think From Software also did that weird American game. I forget what it's called now, but it's the one where you play, like, the president, and you gotta stop, like, the evil vice president. Wait, am I talking about real life or a game now? I think I even streamed that game once, but I really sucked at it, though. Yeah, Metal Wolf Chaos, that's the one. I think I streamed that one years ago, but I haven't looked at it since. Ah, he'll be fine. In the first, got to the final boss, couldn't beat him, so I just pretend to beat it. I mean, I did beat Gwyn once. I beat him once. About 10 years ago. One of the things I'm going to mention in my Dark Souls 3 video is, like, I beat each Dark Souls game once, and then never again. So to me, like, Dark Souls, to a certain extent, it's like an often started, never finished kind of thing. Because I like Dark Souls to the point where, you know, I can beat the first few bosses, and it's fun. And actually, Dark Souls 3 is my least favorite now that I think of it. Just because the bosses in that game are so annoying to defeat. Okay, let's jump, and this goes nowhere. Oh, you just get stuck there, I guess. This is an even more confusing level than the other ones. And they're all like this. The thing about Dark Souls 3 is just the fact that, like, each boss is like a horrible slog. Like the first one, Vort of the Boreal Valley. Hendrik Boreal? That one is, he's like, you can almost beat him a bunch of times, and then he just gets that one last hit and dead. You gotta start all over again. The Abyss Watchers can fuck right off. I fucking hate the Abyss Watchers. They're the most unfair. There's like 2 of them. No, there's 3 of them that spawn, if I'm not mistaken now. And they just fly around. Sometimes they'll attack each other. It took me forever to defeat that bastard. Dream game of science. Yeah, it really is a dream game for a science fiction fan. That is I've wanted a game like that my entire life, and I'm glad I was old enough to have the computer good enough to run it. I think there was like some weird, obscure Russian game from like the early 2000s that could be considered sort of like a primitive version of Starfield, where like you do fly around in a ship. I've always wanted to play that game, but I could never find it. I've read about it on Wikipedia years and years ago. Mimic Summon. Adeptus Custodes. Nice. But I could not get into it. I found Elden Ring, to be perfectly honest, kind of boring. It just did not really... The thing I liked about Dark Souls is it didn't overstay its welcome. Everything was nice and straightforward. Whereas Elden Ring, just everything was so drawn out with that, kind of like Ahsoka. Kind of like Ahsoka. As I said earlier in the stream, Ahsoka is somebody's childhood dream come true. Because they got, the guy who played Anakin, I can't remember his name now. They got him in his TCW uniform. And I know that people watching that are just going nuts over the fact that they got that right. I honestly was kind of going nuts over the fact that they got the Phase 1 clone trooper armor. I like that, but I just don't really like Ahsoka. Don't really like where that plot's going. I like how they have a grand total of 1 X-Wing pilot. 15 times to take down one of the Adeptus Custodes. Yeah, run past. GPU and CPU. I've got a RTX 2060 Super GPU. And the CPU is a Ryzen 3 2200G. I need to replace that at some point, but it's worked well so far, so I've just kind of stuck with it. Oh, you bastard. Please tell me I have a rocket. Of course I don't. And it can run Starfield. Starfield just doesn't like the RTX very much. Okay, we gotta kill this fuck. You know, maybe just have like 1 or 2 pain sounds. Do we really need to do that the entire... Look at that. Look how bullshit that is. It's like, seriously? 15 times. And yes, that is true. If you actually beat those games, you can brag that you were able to do it. You become part of the true gaming pantheon. I beat Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 once. I beat Dark Souls 1, I think, with a magic build. Dark Souls 2 was a high dex and strength build. And Dark Souls 3 was pretty much the same thing. Yeah, we do need to go through here. There might be a switch I need to hit, but I don't see it. They might have actually used similar sound effects. Could have been an open source sort of thing. Okay, and... You know, I totally timed that because I'm a genius. I totally didn't just get lucky. And I didn't even need to go over here. As you saw it, I was able to time it perfectly. Oh, you bastard. Oh yeah, I forgot all about the monk enemy. Then you got dexterity build. High strength almost to the max health. Nice. Dark Souls 2, I was really excited for it when it came out. Because I'd just gotten into Dark Souls 1. At the time Dark Souls 2 came out, I had not beaten Dark Souls 1. I'd started it like half a dozen times, but never legitimately beat it. I don't know where I got stuck. I think I got stuck on that castle where they've got those archers shooting those dragon bows. And I finally got lucky enough that I was able to finally beat Dark Souls 1 and then never tried to beat it again. I always play it up to that castle and then stop. Like, yep, done. Dark Souls 2, I kind of like stop at a similar point. Okay, what key did I get? I got the gold key. Gold key comics. But Elden Ring was just such a big game that I just lost interest. Okay, with the blast him. You drunk missile. Who would design such a thing? You know, the Capra Demon for me was pretty easy to beat, though. I mean, we got the Democratic bonus. Oh, yeah. I mean, we're totally not woke. Does General Lotz go woke? Find out today on. That's pretty disturbing. I can see why they're all dead. But yeah, the Capra Demon was... Oh no, don't tell me. Oh, yeah, because Elden Ring was just so much bigger than those other Dark Souls games. The Dark Souls 1, it was pretty easy to figure out where you were going to go. You know, one thing led to another. Oh my. And the stories for the Dark Souls games, too, were also just very indistinct. Really, I'm all the way back here. Whatever. First try. I was able to beat them first try, too. Just, if by first you mean, like, fifth? I was actually going to do a video a number of years ago, where myself and a co-commentator were going to race to the Bell Tower Gargoyles and try to get there and defeat them in as short a time as possible. Sadly, it just never worked out. Because that's like, that is the rite of passage. If you can defeat them, you can pretty much expect to beat most of the game. Okay, I do not have to go through here. Okay, let's get through here, like so. Oh, you bastard. Okay. He spawned somewhere else. Okay, let's actually save here. There we go. Because I immediately walked over here and died. Okay, let's not go in there. This is the best track in the entire bloody game. Going down the fast way. So, like, it takes so long to kill that guy, I can literally read the chat as I shoot him. Oh yeah, this is one of those games where you can actually go out of bounds. Yep. And you die. I'm not really sure what the point of that is, but you can. Okay, let's go over here. There we go. Just touch all the plates. Very, very poor sanitation. Really? Ooh. Now, if you pay attention, the severed hands will have the middle finger raised. That was a big deal back in the 90s. Damn, I broke up with my... Yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. I can feel you. Something similar happened this year. It's just one of them things. People are people. Go, 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 go! That's one of those things where I could, if I wanted to, I could get kind of political about one topic that started to come up recently. It's like, we've got to get rid of no-fault divorce. It's like, no? Because what about people who get stuck in bad relationships? Would you want to be married to them forever? Oh, that's sad. Yeah, I didn't have that happen, but... Eesh. Yeah, people suck. Sometimes. But not always. Okay, let's save that again. It's just getting through all the chaff is not an easy prospect. Oh, one of those people. Yeah, I've never known anybody like that. Okay. I can read the chat. and just shoot this guy. Look how many shots it takes to kill him. Come on, game. Oh, the music changed. I can hear some talking, but I don't know what's being said. I think like we're at the end of something, because the music got really epic all of a sudden. Yeah, if you're not prepared to talk, yeah, I hate that when that happens. Like, it was terrible. What happened? Go fuck yourself. You know, it's like, why did you say it? Okay, I think this is a boss or something. The music would lead me to believe there's a boss, but I don't actually see any bosses. Or anybody for that matter. Just a bunch of traps. I think the traps make this much more 90s than it probably needed to be. You could walk off the map, but that's probably not a good idea. You see, like, Dark Forces 1 really does stand the test of time. Doom stands the test of time. Because, like, what the fuck just shot? Fucking turrets, man. Fucking turrets. It was a turret. How are you supposed to see that? How are you supposed to know what that was? It's literally just a... What killed me? Yep, there it is. I can't even shoot it! I literally cannot even shoot that. And it... Oh, you better believe that's going to the review. But as I said at the start of the stream, this is not my favorite, Oh, come on, that is bullshit. That is shit. Really? Really? That's what you're gonna do? I don't even know what the point of this part of the level is anyway. It's just a bunch of traps and no enemies. But seriously though, that is shit. Really? You can't attack until it pops up? Come on, game. Okay, I keep hearing somebody saying you're toast now. Monk meal. I think I almost got stuck on the wall. Somebody keeps saying you're toast. So, who's saying that and where? Oh, I must be fighting Oscuro. Even though I don't see him. I don't know, I gotta go back into here and try to get that red key, I bet. Or the Oscuro key. Oh. Alright, let's do it. This is the bullshit room because, once again, I can see what they were going for here, but I don't really like it. I especially don't like that. That is so cheap. That is so cheap. You just walk right into it and get blasted. Okay, so let's grab that free storage, save, and try to figure out where that key is. I bet that's where it is right there. You're gonna get shot when you try to go through here. So you kinda gotta time it right. Or time it wrong, but whatever. This leads to nowhere. Oh, that's what you're supposed to... No, you can just walk over here. Okay, maybe go over here? No, that goes off the level. See, those turrets don't seem to really do anything. They don't seem to, you can walk right to them, but I don't know. You'd think you'd jump over here, but I can't get down there. So I'm guessing there's like a switch or something I have to hit to open that up. Maybe there's something. Maybe you had to destroy the turrets. Maybe. Oh. It's been a long time since I've played Rise of the Triad. This is one of the reasons why I love these remasters, is it makes it a lot easier to play. Okay, so he's gonna pop up like that. And I'm gonna die as I try to hit it. Okay. We got 3 rockets. 3 rockets, 2 turrets. Coming soon to TikTok, right? Okay, well I did that. Maybe that opened something up? Maybe? This is the one thing I really hated about Rise of the Triad, is it's a much more fast-paced game than, say, Heretic or Hexen, but yeah, that is what happened, I think. No, that's still closed. not finding a jump pad. Maybe you gotta jump. I think I know what you gotta do now. You gotta go over there and jump on that. Yeah, I hated that back in the day. Like in the time, it was still bad. There we go. Nope, I did not jump far enough. Okay, so that's the gravity pads. And jump! Aha! Did this lead anywhere I need it to actually be? The answer is yes! Okay, we're gonna kill that boss. We're gonna beat this level. This I command. I do like that elevator texture there. I think it looks kind of neat. Looks all grungy. I think this is a remix of going down the fast way. It's a little harder. A little. Okay, do we need to go over there? No. We do need to shoot all of them. I don't think there's a female for the machine gunner, though. No, we're going to have to jump on there because, unless that's a door. It doesn't look like a door, but it could be. No. Oh, you gotta ride on one of these fucking gravity. Oh, come on. Okay, there we go. There we go. Don't fall. This does not appear to go anywhere. Oh, I guess you just do that. Okay. Yeah, this is definitely a remix. So we still have to find the Oscuro key. Oh crap, there he is. Crap, I did not mean to do that, but whatever. We're gonna save like that anyway. It's like, there he is, like boom, he's just right there. He's got himself a bazooka, does he? I guess his battery works. I vaguely remember this boss. I don't think I've fought him in over a decade, though. I'm not even sure if I'm actually hurting him or not. Am I? Yeah, I think I am. Let's see. That was the supervisor of the mining operation. Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay. I was wondering why I wasn't actually hurting him. Oh, I didn't even have to jump on that thing. Okay, let's save. Okay, I think he must open that door. Yeah, okay. Oh, he's flashing. Damn, I'm out. Stop attacking me. You're hurting my feelings. I feel unsafe. What am I supposed to do here? How do I get up there? Yeah, I'm dead. I guess you just don't miss. Maxed out melee perk. Okay, please tell me I have a rocket. Okay. Okay, he's gonna open up. And we can't miss it. Okay, there it is. Alright, let's save. Already missed him. Like, literally the first shot. This must be what I did back when I was a kid. Nope, missed. Okay, that was stupid. Need to go around this way. Missed again. sure is hot. Oh, I'm an idiot. I need sleep. What I could do is just go over here. No, I can't. I need to make sure I don't miss. Ugh. Alright, now let's try this again. I got you a lunchbox right here, you bastard. Nope, missed. I hope it only takes one bazooka full of rockets to kill this guy. I really don't want to go through all of those. Try it again. Nope. Give him 4 more hits and hopefully that'll kill him. And 4. Nope. You need more than 1 bazooka. Huh? All right. If that's the way it's gonna be, that's the way it's gonna be. I can really go all the way back there. Okay, what am I getting hit? Oh, there. I'm still getting shot by him. Okay, I was wondering what was getting me. This is actually a pretty good boss fight. I'm not sure it's my favorite though, just because this is like the first guy, but this is kind of annoying though, to a certain extent that you have to use a rocket to get him. Oh great, I got this busted. Okay, I did not expect the music to do that, but whatever. Game? I don't know how tall this I didn't even know we were in a building. I'm not really sure where we are, that we would have an elevator quite that, Okay. Jump over here. Okay, where is he? Is he still over there? Yep, there he goes. No, no, he's right here. No, he's not. Where the hell did he go? Did he, like, get killed by a level trap and thus we can't finish the game? I am... Okay, I can hear him talking. Did he like despawn or something? Is he stuck on a wall? I'm very perplexed as to what has happened here. Like, where'd he go? I think I heard him shoot, but I'm not seeing him. And now I'm trapped in here. Apparently I'm going to be buried in a lunchbox, but it looks like the game glitched out. Because he's nowhere to be seen. Actually, I'm going to grab a better rocket launcher, and hopefully we can beat this. I'm willing to beat the Overworld Warhammer 40k mod for Starfield. You know what's kind of interesting about that? Is there is a Warhammer 40k mod for Fallout New Vegas that really doesn't seem to fit. Damn it. Well, okay, no. He's somewhere. And all we can do is hear him, but I guess... Alright, fuck it. Alright, we'll take a look at the, actually no, we'll take a look at Dark War. This was the, retail release, which I never actually had back when I was a kid. So that glitched out at the end. That really annoys me. Because I was actually doing pretty good killing that guy. Yeah, well. Yeah, there was a Warhammer 40k mod for Fallout New Vegas that turns the Brotherhood of Steel into Space Marines and the NCR into Imperial Guard. It kind of works. It could be a post-apocalyptic hive world. I mean, stranger things have happened. I mean, technically Armageddon is a post-apocalyptic hive world where everything is poisonous. Yeah, I've heard about that that clone person. I'm like, okay, you know what? That's only one tiny part of the game, so I'm not gonna really be too up in arms about that, or even really care for that matter, because You can literally have a family and the father character will give you a pistol. It's like, that is the most anti-woke thing you can get. I think people are looking for anything to complain about these days. It's kind of like that Harry Potter game had all the insane people saying that if you play it, you're a terrible person because J.K. Rowling said something. I don't know what J.K. Rowling said. I don't particularly care because I don't really like Harry Potter. So, yeah. There's a lot more woke things out there than that. I've actually inadvertently read a few woke books. Well, partially read some woke books. Because, like, you read it, it doesn't seem that bad. And it's like, oh my god, this is woke. When, like, the characters start doing stuff that's either insane or stupid. Although there was one book that I was able to easily determine was woke, literally because the first couple of characters pointed out that there was this space Navy recruiter who was straight, white, and male. And the writer was very clear about that. It's like, okay, you know what this is gonna be. Oh well. Well, I think there's some country where somebody went to jail because they said that men can't be lesbians. I mean, it'd be kind of hard for them to do that. Just saying, but whatever. I think that person got 5 years for that. That woke nonsense is exactly what it is. People throwing their weight around as they always do. See, this level's not too complicated. No bonus. Screw you. I'm glad they were getting remasters that add in cut content. This is exactly a remaster done right. Although apparently the 13 remaster wasn't very good. Like, they made it too serious. Get rid of the comic panels. Damn, this is some good music though. I'm so glad that Rise of the Triad got a remastered soundtrack. Because this is some damn good music. Maybe not Quake 2 level, but pretty close. Alright, I think what we'll do is we'll finish up this level and call it away. Yeah, pretty much. Because Starfield, it's remarkable how little modern day politics is in it. I think there's that one global warming thing where it's like, oh yeah, Earth became uninhabitable, but then it immediately transitions to, oh yeah, but we went to the stars and are doing better than ever. I much prefer that to, like, and humanity went extinct. It's like, yeah, right. If it looked like humanity was going to go extinct, just build a shit ton of rockets and live in space. We have the technology to create O'Neill cylinders. There's just no reason to do so because it's prohibitively expensive. But if, like, the Earth was going to die, you'd build a shit ton of those. It's one of those instances of, like, humanity is not quite as weak as people make it out to be. Like, if we really needed to get into space now, in a much more cost-effective and efficient way, you could build a bunch of Orion Drive spacecraft. Dog mode? Oh, I remember this! Yeah, I think, the people who made Heretic... Not Heretic, but Hexen. Go on, bite him! Bite him! See, the levels may be kind of annoying in this game, but it definitely has its charm. Although this is kind of like a power-up, in reality, oh, not in reality, but in Heretic, or Hexen rather. Ugh, my brain is tired. But in Hexen, what you can do is, like, transform enemies into, like, pigs, but you yourself can be transformed into one. And you can still kill enemies as that. Alright, we're gonna beat this level, and then call it. This level is definitely a much more complex one than the one previous. God damn, this music is good though. I don't remember this song being this good. Alright, let's save. There's actually a really good sci-fi novel to that effect where, like, aliens invade and humanity needs to strike back, so humanity builds a giant Orion Drive spacecraft called the Michael. That's one of those books that kind of predicted the future, because in that book, the space shuttle was used as a starfighter, and 2 got destroyed in the space battle against the aliens. Would you care to guess which 2 got destroyed? Entirely coincidentally, by the way. It's like, oh, that's predicting the future there. But sadly, when it comes to Wolfenstein games, they really do outstay their welcome. I've already reviewed a couple of Wolfenstein games in addition to Wolfenstein. Blake Stone, The Aliens of Gold. I played that game around the same time as this one, and I think I like that one a little more just because it had that sci-fi bent, whereas this is just, well, complete chaos. That is Capricorn 1. O.J. Simpson is a... O.J. Simpson, that is an actor that, you know, he was in a good number of movies. It was very famous, but ultimately went nuts and, well, we all know what happened with that. But Capricorn 1, it's where he was a astronaut that was supposed to go to Mars, but they couldn't go to Mars, so they faked the Mars landing, and then the federal government wanted to assassinate him. It was one of those 1970s movies that was very bleak. Damn it. Very, very bleak. OJ was also in the Naked Gun movies as well. It's like... Okay, this is starting to annoy me. Yeah, it is kind of creepy to watch a movie with a murderer in it. Allegedly. Alleged murder. We don't want to get sued by the Simpson estate, now do we? Really? I got blasted by that fire? Alright, what can I blast? You know what? We're just gonna say we beat it. I'm General Lotz. We got, it's being considered as the Terminator, but yeah, they thought OJ was too nice to be the Terminator. Well, bum. In any event, I'm General Lotz. I'm gonna wish you a good Rise of the Triad. Really good Starfield. Whatever makes you happy. Okay. How long did this go?